Hi students, I'm your Form 4 Physics tutor today, Mr. Pei. Today, I will continue our last learning outcome of section 4.2, which is about problem solving involving specific heat capacity by using its formula. Let's go.
Okay, now we go to the last part for today's topic, which is solving problem involving specific heat capacity. So we will discuss few questions by using the specific heat capacity formula. So look at the example 3. Calculate the total heat that is observed by the copper block of mass 500 gram and which has been heated from 31 degrees Celsius to 80 degrees Celsius. The specific heat capacity for the copper is 390 joule per kg per degree Celsius. So now we need to find what is the total heat will be needed to increase the temperature of copper, which is 500 gram from 31 degrees Celsius to 80 degrees Celsius. So that means we need to find Q. So the formula will be Q equal MC theta. Okay, so M is mass of the copper and the value given is 500 gram. You need to change to unit SI kg. So will be 0.5 kg. And the C is given and the temperature changes will be 80 minus 31. So we substitute all the value and using calculator you may get 9555 joule. Now let us discuss another example which involves the formula of specific heat capacity. So let us read the question together. When an electric heater is supplied with an electric power of 2 kilowatt to heat 4 kg of water for 1 minute, calculate the increase in temperature of water. So the question asks us to find out what is the increase in temperature with the power supply of 2 kilowatt for 4 kg of water in 1 minute. Okay, so the question also given us the specific heat capacity of water, which is the value of 4200 joule per kilogram per degree Celsius. So we assume there is no heat loss to the surrounding. Okay, so from here we need to recall back some of the knowledge we learned in PT3. So here, how we relate power and time with energy. Okay, so from Form 3, we learned that the power is defined as the rate change of energy. So that means P will be equal to Q over T, and we rearrange the formula, we get Q equal to P times T. Okay, so we can substitute 2 kilowatt to P, but we need to change the kilo by multiplying with 1000. Okay, and the time in minutes we also need to change to unit SI, which is in second. So we need to multiply with 60. So we substitute the value of power, which is 2000 watt and 60 seconds. We get the heat energy supply to water from the electric heater is about 120 1000 joule. Okay, so now we get the value Q, and we're using the formula of specific heat capacity, which is Q equal to mc theta. We substitute value Q with 120,000, and we substitute M with 4 kg, and the temperature change data with, no, this one we need to find out what is the value for theta. Okay, so we need to substitute C. Okay, C with value of 4200. So we get this, and we rearrange the formula. Okay, so we press with calculator, you get the increase of temperature of water is about 7.14 degrees Celsius. So come for the next example. An aluminium block of mass 1 kg is heated by an electric heater, quite similar as the question of example 4, right? Okay, so for 3 minutes, okay, so here 3 minutes we need to convert it to unit SI, okay, by multiply with 60, and the temperature rise is 15 degrees Celsius is recorded if the electric heater is connected to a voltmeter, which give a reading of 30 volt, and the ammeter, which gives a reading of 2.5 ampere. Calculate the specific heat capacity of aluminium. So the question asks us to find the value of C. Okay, so from here, how we relate the value of power. Just now the power is given, but here the power of the electric heater is not given. Okay, so but the question give us the value of voltage and the current. So for these two value, we can get the value of power. Okay, so the formula is also you have learned in PT3. Okay, so power will be equal to V times I. So look at the solution together. Okay, so power is equal to V multiplied with I. So we substitute the value given. Okay, so we get 75 watt. Okay, so after we get the value of power, we can relate it with time to get Q. Okay, so from example 4, okay, we go to example 4. So we know Q is equal to P times T. Okay, so P for example 4, the question is given, but for example 5, the question is given voltage and current. So from here, we can get the value of power, and we use the formula PT equal to mc theta. PT, the formula is get from the example 4. Okay, so Q equal to PT. Another one is Q equal to mc theta. Okay, so both have the same Q. Okay, so we can just write as PT equal to mc theta. So we substitute value of P with value of 75. T is 3 minutes. We need to change to second by multiply with 60, and N given by the question with 1 kg, and the temperature changes is about 15. Okay, so we rearrange the formula. Okay, you got two choice. You can substitute or you can rearrange, become C equal PT over M theta. Okay, here we substitute the value first. Okay, then we rearrange the formula. We get the C is 900 joule per kg per degree Celsius. Now we are going to the last example of our topic today. Okay, example 6. So let us read the question together. There is 300 grams of water at temperature of 40 degrees Celsius is mixed with 900 grams of water at temperature of 80 degrees Celsius. If there is no heat loss to the surrounding, what is the final temperature when thermal equilibrium is achieved by the mixture of water? So here you may imagine there is 2 cups of water. The first cup of water is about 300 grams and the temperature is 40 degrees Celsius, and both will have a thermal contact, and the heat transfer between these 2 cups of water will occur until the thermal equilibrium achieved. So when thermal equilibrium achieved, that means the final temperature for both cups of water will be the same temperature. So we can assume the final temperature is X. Okay, so definitely the final temperature must be higher than 40 but less than 80 degrees Celsius. Okay, so that means the temperature change for the first cup of water will be final temperature minus 40, as the final temperature is greater than 40. For the second cup of water, the temperature changes will be 80 degrees Celsius minus final temperature, as the final temperature will be lower than 80 degrees Celsius. The temperature changes must be always positive. Okay, so let's look at the solution. Okay, so the unknown X represent the final temperature for the mixing of water. Okay, so the heat absorbed by 300 grams of water is equal to heat released by the 900 grams of water. Okay, so the heat absorbed and the heat released, we're using formula Q equal to MC delta. Okay, so M1 represent the mass of the first cup of water, which is 300 grams. So that means you need to change the gram to unit SI kg, become 0.3, and the C is the specific heat capacity for the water. The question is not give us the value of specific heat capacity of water. Okay, so but we can cancel out both specific heat capacity as both cup of water, that means there is the same material. Okay, so the delta 1 represent the changes of the temperature for first cup of water, so there will be 40 increased to X, right? So that means the temperature changes will be X minus 40, so that we will get the positive value for delta 1. Okay, so M2 represent the mass for the second cup of the water, which given as 900 grams. So we change to unit SI will become 0.9 kg. Okay, so delta 2 will be changes of temperature for second cup of water. So the temperature will be from 80 and drop to X. So the changes of temperature here will be 80 minus X. So firstly, we can cancel out both C as they have the same value. So the next step will be substitution of the all value I mentioned just now. So for the M1 will be 0.3 kg and the temperature changes will be X minus 40. Okay, the M2 will be 0.9 kg and the temperature changes will be 80 minus X. So you must be very careful for the substitution of the temperature changes. Okay, so after that you can solve the equation, okay, and you get the value X, which is the final temperature for the mixing of water when they achieve the thermal equilibrium condition. It will be 70. Okay, so that's all for the discussion for today's topic. I hope that all of you will be more understand and more clear about the concept of specific heat capacity. Okay, bye bye. See you next time.
In next video clip, I will discuss with you Chapter 4 Heat, Subtopic, Section 4.3, Specific Latent Heat. Stay tuned.